If you'll remember my last episode, I car camped for the first time, and now we're going to do a tour of the old missile silo. Maybe you're a history lover or simply looking for something interesting to do. This is your opportunity to tour a Cold War era Atlas F missile base. Tours are offered daily at 8:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. You can book and participate in the tour even if you're not staying the night on site. I will put Matthew's website in the description box if you would like to get more information.
Officers who worked here thought at any moment we may be going to war. Fortunately, that didn't happen. It did work as a deterrent. It kept us out of World War III. But when they decommissioned this program, there was a technology transfer between the Air Force and NASA for our great space race with the Russians. And the Atlas was repurposed. They took off the warhead and put on a space capsule, and they sent some of our first astronauts into orbit on top of an ICBM.
So it was the same rocket.
We also sent up our own spy satellites and global communication networks, and I did some research. I found the tail number to the rocket stored right here. It was taken down to Florida and used to send up a weather satellite for NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. You guys can go ahead. If the main entryway were blocked, this was your backup plan for getting out. Originally, this shaft, it would have been filled with 4 tons of sand. In the event of an explosion, it would just blow over the surface. Inside, there's a handle you pull, doors open up, all the sand drops down like through an hourglass, then you can climb up that ladder to off and shuttle back and forth to the main Air Force base. So, all right. Well, you guys ready to go underground?
Sure. Yes.
We'll take the stairs, not the ladder.
No, it's so cool. Wait, I gotta get a picture of it. All right. Oh, go ahead.
All right, we all down? Yeah. Oh, one more.
I'm coming.
It looks brand new. Yeah, I've been working on that. Yeah, it does look good. Here, there's a button you press. This will buzz you into the next room. Electronic locks unlock the door. You shut the door behind you. I'm about to install a new metal door. You pick up a phone, look into a camera, and say your access code. If you said the right code, the next door would buzz open. You could go on through. If you say the wrong code, you're trapped in this room until military police come to haul you away. So this is known as the entrapment room for that purpose. Wow. You guys are authorized to come in. Yeah, so you guys should the military police have a meeting here regarding the noise. Been waiting for the blast. So yeah, next we come to these 2 large blast doors. So this is 2,000-pound, 1-ton door. This is made of manganese and has a higher melting point than regular steel. You may have noticed as we came down the stairs, we've gone around a corner, another corner. Engineering is such that that explosive force we're coming down here, each time it has to stop and turn, it's going to lose up to 10% of its energy. So by the time it got to the curvature of this door, that would dissipate that energy into these thick concrete walls and blow out this hole just above. Right around the corner, there is a locking mechanism that would make sure both doors could not be opened at the same time. So this door had to shut and lock before the next door could open. That way the missileers would never be exposed to any danger.
So great. This is great.
That's one of the great things about being underground. It doesn't matter if it's 110 in the summer, -10 in the winter. It's about the same temperature down here year round. It's like a cave. You notice as you walk into this room, this big concrete column, this is just a support column that holds the bunker in place. You'll see this handle right here. That goes to the escape hatch you were looking down earlier. I'm going to step right over here where you're at, man.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I left my trash here. I had Airbnb guests last night, so you notice on the floor is separate from the walls. Originally, this was suspended from the ceiling at 4 points around the room. You had air shocks that would keep everything level. If an explosion happened up above, these floors you didn't want all your equipment inside getting damaged. You'll notice even the lights are on springs. So we're on the top floor known as the ready room where the missileers used to live. You can see that there was a bathroom, kitchen, air handling room, medical supply closet, and bunk beds. Next we're going to go to the lower level, the launch control room where the missileers worked. So you had a launch desk, an office, backup battery room, and then the whole other side of that room was full of computers and communications equipment. Back in the 50s and 60s, it took an entire room full of computers that had less processing power than the phone in your hand. Then we're going to walk through the tunnel and look down into the silo. Here you can see those 9 floors which held the missile in place, and how when the rocket was raised to the surface, the flames would shoot to the side.
Matthew has spent countless hours over the years working on this project. He's very passionate about it. He's been awarded several large grants to help facilitate restoration of the location.
Nutrient-rich water from aquatic life, say like tilapia fish. So I'm going to be installing an aquarium there. And then you flow it into hydroponic grow beds. The roots suck up the nutrients. It filters water, and the water goes back to the fish. It's a closed-loop system that conserves your water consumption. Now, NASA discovered how to grow plants out in space. You can use the red and blue spectrum of light. Now, I can grow indoors, and in 230 square feet of space, I can grow the same amount of food as a 2-acre farm outside. But I've really been blessed in this journey. The hazmat company I hired to clean out all that contaminated sand, they didn't charge me a penny. Now, I really believe in sustainable practices. Even the floor that we're walking on right here, instead of using a hardwood like oak, where an oak tree needs to grow about 60 years before it's mature enough to harvest, this is actually made from industrial hemp. You can grow the same amount of product in 6 months versus a 60-year-old tree using hemp. Now, this company is called Hempwood. They're based off Kentucky. They use a soy-based glue to bind everything together, so there are no VOCs or chemicals off-gassing in this enclosed environment. I'm talking with the wind farm about renewable energy. They not only work with wind, they work with solar and hydrogen. Now, hydrogen excites me because where we plan on landing on the moon, we've already discovered water. Train up our next generation of astronauts, but if nothing else, it could be a space-themed adventure resort, a fun, interactive way for guests to learn about sustainable technologies and how we can start implementing that into the world today. So as you come into the bathroom, you'll see there's beautiful cabinetry. These used to be old upright pianos that were on 2 of them. My father gutted out and turned into beautiful cabinets. You see the kind of molding up on top, and that used to be the cover that went over the keys for the piano. I wanted a gun and liquor cabinet, so there's where you can store your gun and drinks. You use the tray for sheet music as a handle, and the cover that went over the keys is now part of the drawer. King bed and bunk bed, so friends and family want to go. Right. Well, I set up the mini kitchen with 4 kitchens and 1 traditional. So yeah, essentially that'll be a big aquarium right there. Now, I always like to point out the companies that sponsor me. Strictly Kitchen sponsored me with this beautiful butterfly sink. They faucet comes from them as well. So if you're ever looking for a great kitchen, remember that's a great company to work with. I was looking at digital windows, to where I could be looking out at the mountains or the beach or even a farm landscape, but those digital windows don't accept grandies, so I just ended up dropping some glass in front of the lights. All right, we're going to go downstairs next. Follow me this way. I'm all sold out of shirts and hats at the moment. If you want to purchase any of those, you can buy those online at my website, atlas-asher.com. But you'll see my logo. It looks similar to the nuclear symbol. It's actually 3 A's for Atlas Ad Astra, the name of my business. I was trying to be clever, but I even did a crop circle that you can see from space now. What I plan on doing is cleaning this all up, replacing this panel with a touchscreen monitor, and digitally recreating what it would have looked like. So you could go through a simulation of launching a missile. It took 2 to launch. One was sitting at the desk, another one upstairs. And each had a combination lock to the lockbox where the launch codes were kept. That way one guy couldn't go rogue. And like I said, there were 5 officers on duty. They were on duty for 24 hours on, 48 hours off, and shuttled back and forth to the Air Force Base. Now, as I develop up this lower level, I'm going to do a wall of bookshelves here, a mini bar and kitchenette over there, and this will be a nice lounge area. And then there's a hallway leading around to 2 bedrooms, each with their own bathroom and a spa. As I finish out this lower level, the room upstairs where the bunk beds were, that's going to be turned into the food growing area. The room where the king bed is, that's going to come down here, and that room will become a health center. I've already been reaching out to different medical companies. One of them has sponsored me called Ant Coil. So it's an electromagnetic frequency device that helps harmonize your body. Oh yeah, fortunately I hired a couple guys to help me. Now as we walk down into the tunnel area, watch your head and your step. It is a low entryway, okay? So on a hot summer day, they let me down here making gold by gold. I've got no money. This may not be enough. They put in a third door later as an afterthought. The explosive force of rocket fuel, right? When I bought this, that door was welded shut, and this door was locked from the other side. So I got a friend to come down with a cutting torch. We cut the welds off. I was able to crawl through a small opening and attach a car along and was rashed in it. While he was heating up the hinges, trying to break the rust, I started hitting that door as hard as I could with a sledgehammer. It was resounding like a gong in here, and after an hour, we had about a ½ inch. Like, oh, we're making progress, you know? It took forever, and we finally got that door open. The other door, I had to put on my rock climbing gear, harness and ropes, tie out to this, and crawl through a small opening for wires, swing around to the other side, and chop the locks off in the dark. So it's been an adventure for me. Fresh air into the tunnel. And these grates I'm standing on, there tends to be a lot of condensation in this area. So when warm air from outside comes in contact with this cool concrete, it can just drip down and drain away. And the batteries, my goal is to go off grid. I've been donated some solar panels.
Your appreciation for that company.
This was so rad. As you step up your front, attached to the side of the wall. I'll step off your way. That chamber is known as the celestial chamber. There's a tube that goes up to the surface, and you can align by the North Star to get the navigational system all correct for the rocket. I've been rappelling down there a couple times now, once with the camera crew from the History Channel, another time with a friend from Alaska who's into adventure like me. It's about 80 feet down to the water, and I estimate there's between 60 and 70 feet of water down there. The missile itself is 10 feet in diameter and 71 feet tall. Now, I have a friend down in Texas who turned his missile silo full of water into a scuba diving center. You can actually get certified. Use that water to establish gardens, vineyards, orchards on the land, have like a whole food forest of fruit and nut-bearing trees. I can use it for irrigating and everything. Take it down to 200 feet, pour a whole new foundation and build the structure with it.
Violent.
It's not worried doesn't get stagnant, nasty or anything?
So, I mean, it's been filtering through the concrete for the last 50 years. You know,
Yeah.
concrete is porous. And so, really, it's level with where the water table is. And with the blast valve still
I don't think I'd want to go in
that
that.
airflow does get down here, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Have to circulate it at all?
Not yet. I mean, I'm not using it for anything at the moment, but I did a water test on it and it came back good. Speaking of water, I'm going to dump my dehumidifier water down there. You guys can watch it fall on AV if you want. You guys want to record water falling? So, 3, 2, 1. Takes a little while to get down there.
That's awesome.
Well, if any of you guys are interested in owning a bunker, I am helping some owners sell theirs right now. So one of them, I was hired by an investment group up in Nebraska. There were only 3 of these bunkers built. It's 54,000 square feet of space, completely clad in copper, EMP shielded. I think it would make an excellent data center or crypto mining facility, but it's on the market for less than $3 million. You can build it today for less than 100. So I think it's a steal deal.
How much did you spend on this?
So I spent about $300,000 purchasing this.
That's incredible.
That's a good deal.
That's
a hell of a deal.
Yeah, well, I mean, it cost $12.8 million to build it. So
And you said, what year did you get it?
I purchased this in 2013, but I really didn't start working on it until 2017. Opened up the campground in 2019 and moved out here full time in 2020.
Awesome.
It's like the never-ending project, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You know.
Is that a good place for you to stretch?
Your batteries that accident, I assume?
Yeah.
You should give Buster a ride.
Laugh like
Pretty
you
cool.
all the time.
Pretty cool place.
Well, you know, I go this way.
Pretty cool place. You should come tour. That's going to do it for me for my adventure at Atlas Ad Astra. And you can look them up on Airbnb if you'd like to stay here, or the website directly if you want to book a campsite. Until next time, bye for now.